Wade is guarding Bryant. Artest looking, gets it to Bryant. Bryant dribbling, has to put it up at the buzzer. Banks it in! He banks in the three! And the Lakers win the game!
Boom. Good morning, Insurance Syndicate members. How are you doing? Hope you're having an amazing week. I am super excited to be here with you guys. Obviously, I don't have my my co-host Tony with me. He is running an event of his own, so kudos to him. If you guys have his information, shoot him a quick text, give him some word of encouragement. Again, hope everybody's having an amazing week. I know I have. You guys maybe have noticed I've been a little MIA the past couple of days. I'm going to share a little bit about that. And again, just to kind of give you guys a heads up of what really kind of the goal is today. Definitely a little bit different type of a show. We're not doing an interview or anything, but it's November 1st. Guys, I don't know if this is just me or not, but I swear this year just flew by. And I can't believe it's already November 1. And I've been doing a lot of goal planning and really personal goals and financial goals, and just kind of getting it all down on paper, being like, dang, I'm not 100% where I want to be, and it's already November 1. So we're going to take some of the time of this show today to go through that. Please engage. Please interact. I'm going through the comments here now. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, Mr. Moore? How are you, sir? Good to see you on. Thank you again, always, for your loyal listening. You're on like every single show. And so shout out to that. Real quick, I wanted to give some updates just to everybody in the group. We've been growing like crazy. I'm sure you guys have seen it. And kind of to highlight the other syndicate groups. So we have obviously the main group, which is here, the Insurance Syndicate, where you guys are tuning in. We also have the Acquisition Syndicate. So if you are interested or want to be more involved on the acquisition side of things, go check that out. Again, it's the Acquisition Syndicate. We also have the Trucking Syndicate. So for any insurance agents, this is going to be more specific to the property and casualty side. Shoot that, or hey, maybe you're a life and health agent looking to network on the trucking side as well. We have a group for that. It's called the Trucking Syndicate. Very, very active. Tons of information going on in that group. And we've me and Donald McGee, if you guys know Donald, shout out to Donald. We've done some trainings in there on just literally everything we're doing to not only get in front of truckers, but also, sell the insurance. And again, it's more specific on the P&C side. But as always, everybody is welcome. So we have that one. We have the Gaming Syndicate. So if you're into gaming at all, come join us in the Gaming Syndicate. We have some fun in there. We haven't streamed in a while, but it's a good time. We have some fun, and we're all talking about games and nerding out a little bit. We also have the I'm trying to think of all the other syndicate groups that we have. We have the Sales Syndicate. So the Sales Syndicate is really just for anybody, sales in general. So it's not insurance specific. So feel free to check that out. And I know I'm missing a couple just because in the Overlay Syndicate, we've got that one. But again, we've got a lot of other syndicate groups out there. Make sure and check those out. Also, this is kind of some exciting news. Me and Tony have really been trying to wrap our head around this, but we're going to do it. We're just not 100% sure if we're going to do it in 2023 or pretty much right after, because we know obviously you guys got AEP, OEP, all that stuff going on. So we want to make sure that everybody can attend. But we are looking at rolling out the first ever syndicate party. All right. And so you guys all know me. I love conferences. I love the power of the events and what they've really personally done for my life. Right. But at the same time, I also love to freaking network at those things. And so that's kind of the mission, what we're going to try and do with the Insurance Syndicate. It's not going to be coming to train. It's not going to be a bunch of people sitting up on stage. We'll probably have a few words from obviously myself and Tony, and then a couple of the sponsors of the event. But like, we're just going to be having fun, networking, probably have some golf, and then we're going to have multiple different events going on we're trying to figure out if we want to do a day or two. Put that in the comments if you want us to do a day-long event or a 2-day event. But again, it's literally going to be no agenda. If any of you guys have ever been to my agent hangout, that is very similar to kind of a vibe there where we're just coming to hang out, have some drinks, have some food, make some new relationships. So that is a big one for us. We be on the lookout for updates on that. But we are excited to eventually roll out the and again, we'll probably do it after OEP because I want our life and health people. And I see Alex, it is 2-day. Okay, and a golf tournament. I'm down for that, Alexis. And so we are looking. I mean, come on. We're both in Austin, and Austin's honestly really easy for everybody to get to. We're probably looking at Austin, Texas, just FYI, guys. But again, we'll keep you posted on that. Okay, it looks like a lot of people want to do a golf tournament. I'm definitely down for that. Well, I won't play. If any of you guys have seen me too, I also I roll around on the golf cart and watch everybody else play. And if you need a beer, I'll go get you one. Okay, cool. Right on. Well, we'll do something. We'll look at doing something in Austin. We'll keep you guys posted on that. And without further ado, and actually real quick, I want to drop a weekly win, and it's actually a perfect segue into what we want to talk about today. I sold my first consultation package. A lot of y'all know me, and I typically will just give away the farm for free. We had an agency owner. I'm not going to necessarily drop his personal information in here. Amazing guy. We've been connected for probably a couple years, and he just reached out. I don't know what's going on with my team. I'm so busy, and he's still personally writing a ton of business within the agency as well. Very healthy book of business. They've been around for, I think, since 2018, I believe. And just something happened where the team just totally dived in sales, and they were struggling to even hit 50,000 in new business per month. And so reached out, we got on a couple calls, and typically, again, I would just like, here you go. And I'm like, man, it's going to require more than that. And so I said, honestly, man, I think I can provide some solutions here. And so I sold my first consultation package. I got paid thousands of dollars. And then I ended up calling in my boy, Joe Narai. Shout out, Joe, if you're watching here on the show. I actually had him come. He drove 6.5 hours. I drove 4.5 hours to get to this agency. We were there for a day and a half. And kind of what I'm encouraging people to do this morning is really we're going to do some goal planning. Okay. And that's personal goals and financial goals. And I'll kind of go through what I did and this is just the kickoff, right? And now obviously we've got Slack channels, all this, but basically was going there to build out a trucking division, but also do obviously House of Dreams. You guys saw that a couple weeks ago. So we did House of Dreams, but then this personal and goal planning. And it was crazy to see honestly what some people kind of view their lives as and what their really self-worth is. And so I think, again, that's why this is important. I don't want you typing any of this stuff out. I do want you to do this with me. I'm going to do it as well. But writing it down, like, what do I really want? I want it to try and be as specific as you can to the remainder of this year. I typically will do a 5-year, a 4-year, a 3-year, 2, all that good stuff. But really, we want to finish out the year freaking strong. We want to hit our targets, right? We want to hit our numbers. And so let's try and keep it more specific to what am I trying to achieve by the end of this year, right? And so again, we go in, I do this at this agency, and that was day one. So Monday, we get there Sunday night. Me and Joe are running, basically we did House of Dreams together with everybody. And then we did individual planning sessions with each and every single one of the staff, and just really, hey, what do you want out of this thing, right? What are your personal goals? It's obviously super associated to the House of Dreams, but we really do a deep dive. And so that's what I want you guys to write down right now. Okay. I want you to go. So personal, you got personal and financial, and you just split it down the middle here. Right. And I want you to write, what do you really want by the end of this year? Right. And this is, again, this is on the personal side. I don't want a dollar sign associated to this. Okay. So drop some in the comments. If you have questions or anything, you can also put that in the comments. But again, put a personal goal, and I don't want it to be associated to a dollar sign. We'll get to the dollar sign because obviously there needs to be a dollar sign involved, but just put in the personal side, what are 2 to 3 things that you're trying to achieve by the end of this year, right? Or at least, hey, I'm going to do this basically on January 1, right? So like, what do you need to do in order to hit that? A couple of mine, right? I want to be debt free. I want to get some of my credit card stuff taken care of. I want to have more date nights with my wife. Shout out to Maria if you're watching this. If you're not, you should be, so I can get some brownie points here, but I need to be better about that. And then a new house. So me and Maria are looking at a new home. Guys, I'm hooked. I've been looking on freaking Zillow and I'm looking at all these freaking houses. And but pray for me. We're looking and got to make the right decision. We're obviously here in Austin, so that ain't cheap. But again, right, some personal goals. And if you could, anybody that's actually doing this, drop some in the comments, right? And again, so as I'm doing this with this team, you really kind of get to see they were so similar to each other, yet they had no idea that they were, right? There was kind of some division within the agency, beautiful agency, like, I mean, super cush offices. It was amazing. But there was they weren't 100% all vibing with each other at all times, right? And so when we did the personal goals with each of them, it was so funny to see, like, man, y'all are like so alike. Like, all like we want to be homeowners. Two of them said they literally wanted the exact same truck. Like, it was crazy. And but again, they had no idea, right? That synergy, that culture wasn't 100% instilled in. And I think that's just because the sales were down. I think maybe it could have been that, hey, it was there, but then when you're not selling as much, right, then people kind of lose some of that. But it was really cool to see that. And so once you go through the personal goals, right, and that's the reason I start with the personal, and I don't want it to be associated with a dollar sign. I love this, Josh. Freaking expand my team. Anybody else trying to expand your team by the end of this year? Let's see, Alexis. My goal is to hit 200K AV during OE to go on the company trip. I love that. Let's go. Hopefully you get that. And I know OEP is crazy. Y'all, I don't get AP and OP. You guys are freaking like vampires, just working like 24/7. But again, the reason you want to associate that to the personal, just no dollar sign, no nothing, was because something for me, why I say write them down. I'm big on writing them down. And I remember I was writing down one of my goals, and not a lot of them, probably a couple of my goals I write in past tense. That's shout out to Nate Offord at SWAT. It's kind of manifestation. I don't care if you guys say it's BS. It freaking works. And I was sitting there writing down, it was nice making $20,000 in a month for the rest of 2023. And I just kept writing, and I kept writing, I finally hit it. Right. And then when I hit it, then I was like, all right, let's do 30,000, right? And it was such an arbitrary number, right? Me just saying, okay, because I hit 20,000 in the month, okay, now it was really nice. I was like, why? Like, I'm just throwing a number out there, and it really wasn't associated to anything. And what's really cool though is when you associate, we start with the personal, because now we know, okay, hey, we got to go there in the mind before we go there in the body, right? But then when we go over to the financial goals, and then now I can associate that, hey, I want to have at least for the rest of this year, I need to hit at least 50,000 more in revenue in the next basically 2 months in order to really hit my goals. And I know that now I will say also, I always typically do my financial goals as a stretch goal, just because this is a shout out to Pete Fournier. When you set a stretch financial goal, right, and you fall a little short, typically you're failing pretty far forward, right? It doesn't really suck because, like Pete went out to do like 130,000 in a month or something like that, and he failed at 117,000, and that's on the life insurance side, which is just nasty. But again, when you can associate that 50,000 to, hey, I want to be debt free, right? I got to get some credit. I got to get some stuff off my credit cards, right? And obviously, I have my expenses and everything associated with that. I'm saving up for a freaking new house, right? And so all those things that now I can associate that dollar sign to now makes it that much easier for me, right, to really break that down. Now, the last bit of this, right, and this was the really cool part, is the reason I was out there is I built out a trucking division within this agency. They'd never done trucking, like literally never. And one of the agents had actually been on the insurance side of things for 30 years. She had just hit her 30-year mark, right? And so kind of me coming in, you guys know me, high energy. We're doing this house of dreams, and like we're getting super deep into the personal goals and financial goals and all this stuff. Well, then now you take that, and because obviously we've been in the industry long enough, we know comps, we know all this stuff, right? Especially on the trucking side, I know that stuff. And then you break down that, hey, in order to hit this goal, this is now what you have to do on a month-to-month basis, right? On a week-to-week basis, on a day-to-day basis. So again, we start with the personal, we get the financial goal, and now that financial goal has a why behind it. And then we break down what we need to do in order to hit that. And then again, it all goes back to the why, which makes it that much easier for me to wake up and freaking get to work, right? I'm not going to lie, guys. I had nothing planned for this freaking show. I just found out yesterday that Tony wasn't, so, and then I didn't have a guest or anything. And I was like, man, I could use a pre-recorded, whatever. And it's like, no, I'm going to get on here, and honestly, this stuff just really has been sticking with me. So I wanted to share that with you guys. That we got to get to work, right? We got to do that on a day-to-day basis because of that why. And if the why is not strong enough to get you up out of bed, right, or do something that you're not 100% necessarily prepared for in front of thousands of people, I mean, it's maybe look at your why, right? So again, we break all that down, and so then the next morning. Okay, so we have it all. Hey, this is what it's going to take. We also even introduced new comp plans, which was very scary. We introduced a commission-only plan when they had been making salary. Actually, I'm pretty sure 2 of them, especially after yesterday, are going to go full commission, which then saved the agency owner almost $14,000 a month in salaries, right? Just because we were able to come in and again, shout out to Joe Narai. We were able to come in and implement some things, not just, I mean, trucking, yes, but then the sales side of things, which is where Joe's a freaking beast, man. The guy is a stone cold killer on the phone. And so we build this thing out. We literally get him in. We meet in the mornings. We go, here's the objective of what we're going to be doing today. Okay. And it was, y'all are going to be hitting the phones. There was this one guy, he had the first day he'd ever even been around. The agent owner he goes, hey, man, I got this guy coming in to train my team. You should just come in and see what insurance is like, right? So he's going through House of Dreams, all this stuff. He's like, man, what the hell is insurance? And then the next day, and so he's never even thought about getting his license or nothing. We get him on the phones, and the dude is a freaking trucking appointment machine, because obviously he can't talk coverage or anything, but the dude was booking calls that were coming in. And so this is the really cool part, right? So we do the objectives. Hey, here's what we're going to do. I need at least 100 dials from y'all by the time I leave here around 11:30, 12 o'clock. And like, I told the agency owner, I said, hey, man, you're going to have at least 50,000 in the hopper by the time I leave here. And that was the previous night. And so we get going. We do some role play, which was hilarious to see them do role play with each other, especially on like trucking. Like, what is it? Like, they have no idea what they're talking about. But then we get them on the phones, and I'll tell you, within literally, I mean, the one lady who had been in 30 years, her first call, she got assigned AOR, right? And then like her third call, she got another 28. We had over, again, first day in trucking, right? And typically, and it was actually within the first, I'd say, hour and a half, we'd already quoted almost 100,000 in premium, right? Just off dialing some freaking list. And so one, that was really cool because that was my first consultation package. And now it's like, man, what he paid me damn near is about to get paid back just on the first day. And obviously now I've got more follow-up. We have accountability calls and stuff that I have built into these packages now. But man, it was so freaking cool. The energy in that office. And again, that's, if they can ride that energy out till the end of the year, where they're going to be to start 2024, they never would have even freaking thought it. So that was just a really cool experience. But I wanted to share that because, again, facts tell, stories sell, right? And I really think it's important to have these personal and financial goals associated to the obviously to the why, but then have that broken down day to day, and then know that, hey, shoot, all I had to do was hop on the phone and dial 150 times and get told to F off probably a few times. It was funny. We had them like blacklist the names. I told them to F off. And the one guy who was brand new, the second day ever, he had like a bunch of them. I was like, all right, man. But he kept going. He kept dialing. And what do you know? He's setting appointments, and we're getting that quoted there in that agency. So it was a really cool experience. I don't really have much else other than that. I want you guys, again, to go really take some time on this too. Don't just write down some bullshit or, hey, you saw something in the comment sections here and now you're going to use that as yours. Like, really break down, what do I want out of the rest of 2023? Okay. And that's personal, right? That could be a trip. That could be, again, a house. I want to be debt free or whatever that might be. And then I'm going to go and do my financial goal, right? Because then now I can associate a dollar sign to what I'm trying to achieve, and then take that financial goal, roll it into your comp plans, your product line, whatever you're selling, and figure out what I need to do in order to hit those goals. So again, we can finish out the year with a freaking bang, and then hopefully a syndicate party, which that would be awesome. So that is what I got for us today, guys. A little quick 20 minutes. I really encourage you to take some time to do this. If you're catching the replay, still do it. You can still put it in the comments. I would love to comment back and engage with y'all. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to everybody who has been tuning in this morning. I love seeing how this group is growing, and the community behind it. You guys are amazing. And just, again, a genuine thank you for all of your contribution to the group. Even for me, I'm MIA, and then I come back, man, and this group is still popping. Agents are still getting helped out, getting answers to questions, and doing so in a way that is collaborative and not really demeaning whatsoever. So I love it. Thank you guys. Happy Wednesday. It's the peak of the week. Get your goals in order, right? Set those revenue numbers, hit those, what are those numbers, and let's get after it. Appreciate you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day. See you.